Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be looking at workflows, modifying workflows, and creating new workflows. So we're going to go ahead and select the workflow link. And under the workflow tab on the left hand side we'll see how many workflows we have as well as where they're assigned to. So in this instance we only have one, the default workflow. And over to the right we have all the roles associated with each step. And you'll notice here is an indicator that this workflow is indeed the default workflow. Now notice by clicking here we can edit the name of a particular workflow to make it more descriptive, as well as indicating whether to make this workflow default. Now since we only have one at this point, this is automatic. It's automatically default. Throughout each step of the default workflow, we can configure the step. You'll notice here that we have each role assigned to this workflow, as well as any other roles created. And we have the permissions for each role. So to edit a particular step, say for instance we want the editors to be able to publish pages on demand right from the draft step, we can select the checkboxes to allow that to happen. Similarly, if we want email notifications to go out to a particular role in this step, whenever a page moves into this step, an email notification be sent to them, we can just check this box here. And this can be done for each step. If we want to add, say we want to add contributor to this step, allow them to reject pages back a step, and then approve them maybe for publishing, move them forward, we can go ahead and do that. And now you'll see that they're added within this review step. Now, say if you have a very specialized need that has to occur in the workflow chain. Say everything needs to go through the legal department to have them proofread the content. You can add a step to the workflow in between the draft and review. So we can go ahead and name this step. And once again, we select what role and what permissions they should have within this step. So let's say the role will be proofreader, and they can either submit content ahead in the workflow, reject it back, but that's it. Let's also give them email notification. Let me click Save. And that step and the role has been assigned. Notice admin is always going to have rights throughout this process. That is done by default. So that's modifying, the existing default workflow. Say if you have sections or separate sites that the workflow steps are going to dramatically depart from the norm. You can create a separate workflow, and that is done by clicking this icon. And let's call this one, say marketing has completely different protocol as far as workflow. So let's name this marketing workflow. And here you see you do have the option of making this default, but we won't. You'll see we start with a blank slate, so to speak. All the steps are outlined, but only the admin users um, are included. So now we can do is we can customize what each user, what each role, I should say, can do throughout each step. Now that we have this workflow created, we can attach this workflow to both sites, sections within sites, and locations within the asset library. So we click on this icon here, and this dialog will pop up indicating what site to choose. By clicking on these arrows, we can further narrow it down by section. So say the marketing workflow is only going to apply to the media center. We will select that, click Save. So now we have the marketing workflow attached to just the media center section of our website. Like I said, this is a good idea to do if the workflow for this particular section is dramatically different uh, from the default. Now to delete a workflow, we simply would click this icon and a warning dialog would pop up. The workflow on Media Center would revert back to the default in this case. This concludes